I'm here because this issue is, I think, one of food freedom. I can't drink pasteurized milk. My body doesn't accept it. I get cramps and stomach pains. So there's something that's done to pasteurized milk that my body doesn't like. So as a consumer, I would really like the freedom to buy raw milk. That's really why I'm here. I've had raw milk on numerous occasions and I have no issues whatsoever. Raw milk has got enzymes and probiotics in it that helps me digest it. So my health has been good. I have less colds. I find my immune system is responding very well to it. And I guess I like the whole issue of risk, like risk management. That's what the regulations are about. And I think, we need pasteurization for large-scale industrial production of milk, but when it comes to the risk level getting it straight from the farm, it's very low. And the current regulations do not acknowledge the difference in risk between industrial scale milk production and farm milk. So it's something that I think the government has to change. They got to update their policy and their regs to really reflect those two risk profiles or risk regimes.
I ferment raw milk. We call it kumis, and it's been going for about 10,000 years. And I've had diabetes, serious diabetes, for 15 years. And I drink probably about a litre of fermented raw milk every day. And I go to a diabetic specialist doctor, and he can't believe how I've managed to stabilize my diabetes. And they are pretty convinced that it's the fermented raw milk that has done this. And they've ordered me and taken me off insulin.
To the Queen! Unfortunately, she's charging us here. And this is Elisa van der Hout. I'm her husband. She's defending herself. And I'm Michael Schmidt, and I'm defending myself also.
And you are here to put a stop to the heavy-handed intervention of government. You are here to say enough is enough. And you are here to say you're not afraid. You're here to say the government's gone too far. And you're here because these people are your partners. Farmers and consumers unite. Yes, we're here for raw milk and for these cows and for these farmers. We are the farm. And it takes each of us in our own uniqueness to contribute in the ways that we each know how and the ways that we each love to create this vibrant community that you see around you and to keep the farms that we know and love in their own vibrancy. Feeding your children healthy food. Everybody here values something enough to take the time and the energy to come out here on this cold morning and stand in front of and in a courtroom so that our farmers can keep on farming. So thank you to everyone. And together we are growing this community so we can grow our farms. The Queen does that. The Queen has a farmer who farms her cows for her and brings her fresh milk to the palace every morning. If the Queen can do it, why can't we do it? Children under the age of 6, if they are fed over-the-counter cough syrup, can have seizures, and it's very dangerous for them. It easily can be overdosed, but you can't give raw milk to your child if you don't live on the farm. Isn't that bizarre? Thanks for coming, everybody. I think it's amazing. This turnout is great. I think we're going to be successful.
The face of all of you, because that's what we want to make clear today, that we are here, just everybody from everywhere, to represent our innate right to eat, to drink, to live on, to grow on, and to raise everybody in the healthy, wholesome way that we know is good for us. And that's not a crime. That is something that is a right. And that's what we're standing up for today. And we're so grateful for our farmers that know what they're doing, do it healthily, look after these beautiful animals for us, so that we can do what we know we can do, which is raise our families, look after ourselves, and look after our loved ones. But that's because we have loving farmers that take care of the animals and bring us the help. Thank you.
To hear Judge Paul Kowarski render his verdict in the trial of Michael. And we came and he started reading his verdict. He read and he read, and I don't know how many of you were here then, but he kept reading. He read for 2.5 hours his verdict, and at first it sounded like he was going to convict Michael. By the time he finished, though, he had concluded that people have the right to form into small groups and to decide for themselves what food to consume, and that they could consume raw milk in that kind of a situation. And he acquitted Michael. And now, if this had been in the United States, that would have been the end of it, finally. You have to remember, at that point, we were 16 years into this whole mess. So now here we are 6 years later, and of course the Crown appealed that verdict because you don't prohibit double jeopardy in Canada, and the courts were allowed to convict Michael. I'm not aware of any other country in the world that would pursue an individual farmer producing a small farm, producing food for a small group of people for 22 years. It's just a total outrage for Michael, but it's also about our rights to drink the milk of our choice and to drink the food of our choice. And thank you all.
I just think it's despicable and corrupt that the government is spending so much effort, time, and money, the public's money, to prosecute and persecute people that choose to drink raw milk. If the government can regulate and provide for the sale of cigarettes and such things, then why not provide for a regulation and allow people to drink raw milk? So I think perhaps ultimately that's the goal here, is to pressure the government to open up for the sale of raw milk and provide for proper sale and regulation.
We have to fight for our farmers, because if the government shuts them down, there will be a huge gap in, say, Micah's nutrition. She drinks a liter of raw milk every day, and that's what kept her safe from asthma. And I am willing to fight to the very end to get the things right. I have a message to our dear government. Dear Mr. Trudeau and Ms. Wynne, the raw milk is our medical marijuana. If you can relate to that, I hope you can relate to raw milk and to our kids' need for raw milk. Thank you.
I only have a half-acre property. For a lot of people, that's considered to be pretty big, but I need his property. And I need this cow, so I can't put that cow on my half-acre, so I'm quite happy to have people like Michael Schmidt and this gentleman here. I think a lot of people have actually met me. I haven't met a lot of you, but we all want the same thing. And a lot of what was said over here earlier is what we all believe in. This is my milk. I want it, and who the hell are you to tell me what I can and cannot put into my body? Because I'm fed up. I'm fed up. And I usually shut up and plod along my day and do my thing, but this time around, I'm pissed off, back off, sit down with Michael and Elisa, get something going, because when Maple Leaf had their listeria in 2008, 2009, 2012, 2014, 2015, and we're not even finished in 2016, nobody harassed them. Right. Nobody harassed us and keeping us healthy. Sickness is big money. My 2 cents.
Thank you, Ann. Very refreshing. So, let me just make one thing very clear. We're not coming in here to ask for permission to get our raw milk. We're coming here to defend our right, which has been unjustly taken away by the government, or they think they took it away. So it is more an issue for us here that we are standing our ground to asserting our right that we have the right to drink milk from our cows, from our farms. We are walking in the spirit of Gandhi with a peaceful resistance, with non-violent resistance, and we're walking in the spirit of Martin Luther King. And it all was painful. It was very painful and a long process. When you watch the movie of Gandhi, you always think it took 2 hours to free India. No, it took more than 20 years. So in the sense, we are on our way. You can look at that as a salt march to the ocean in order to free ourselves from that control of from the regulatory control, which is actually no law at all. So I'm walking high-spirited in the courtroom once again, and I said, when you look 22 years back, at least I didn't have to wait. I look at the courtroom like Stratford. You go in and have theater at its best. Thank you so much. Thank you, May, which is the cow. And I want to honor all the farmers who came out.
Raw milk is important to me and my family for health reasons. I'm not able to actually consume regular milk. It makes me sick. And even my kids, we tried giving them organic, pasteurized milk, and my son's nose is running, and it just wasn't working out. With the raw milk, we don't have any of those symptoms, so it's important for our health.
And there's been zero sickness. Nobody got sick, and this is actually a far superior product than what we can get in the store. And to be honest, I'm embarrassed that it's gone on 22 years for Michael. I'm embarrassed the fact that we live in a world where I can't be free to choose not to pay the people going after him. Right? I don't see a body, I don't see a victim, and if we did say there was a victim, then, why aren't we outlawing cigarettes? Why aren't we outlawing alcohol? So I'm not here so much as about the raw milk, I'm here about our freedom to choose. I don't see a victim. I don't see a body. But if they put an injunction on Michael Schmidt, I see a victim. I see people who put their heart and soul into this, risked marital strife and argument and the battles that this kind of stress can bring within the family. I've seen that happen. They've all invested into producing this superior product. I don't see a victim. And they're the victim. Right? Their farms represent the chalk outline drawn around the victim at a murder scene because they can't produce the milk anymore. So that's why I'm here. I just wish we were free to choose the things that we didn't want to pay for and free to choose the things we did want to pay for, right? And if we're not free to choose that, and raw milk is just yet another one of those examples, but we're not free to choose. If you take out raw milk, national debt, you should be free not to pay it. If you take out national debt, put in medical marijuana. Put in, if I don't see a victim, I don't see a crime. That's it.